All right, Shalom. Giving all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of a great millstone who rule well. And peace and salutations to every brother preaching the truth throughout the four corners, with truth and sincerity in their hearts. All right. This is the brother Shamari of the Indiana camp coming at you again with another lesson. And today's lesson is going to be a response video to the other of our camp. He put out a response that said, the judgment of the Lord will intensify. All right. Now, first scripture I'm going to get is Matthew 24. Because judgment of the Lord is going to intensify, all right? The people are going to start getting judged. You already see it happening, before your eyes. For instance, you got these people on Facebook Live, since knowledge has increased in the earth, like these phones and smartphones and cameras all everywhere. Everybody's recording all the time, so you have these shootouts that people record. All right, you have people dying on Facebook Live. You have boyfriends killing their girlfriends on Facebook Live. So it's broadcast throughout the world. All right, so that's all for the prophets can see it, man. Because so we can see the judgment of the Lord is going forth. All right. Yeah, I want to get this Matthew. This is Matthew chapter 24. I'm gonna start at 4. 6. It's Matthew 24, verse 6. It says, "And ye shall hear of I'm gonna start at 3. Matthew 24 and 1. It says, "And Yahushua went out and departed from the temple, and his disciples came unto him for to show him the buildings of the temple. Yahushua said unto them, See ye not all these things? Verily I say unto you, there shall not be left here one stone upon another, that thou shalt not be thrown down." All right, so the Lord is talking about the destruction of this place. All right, so the disciples, it goes on to say, "And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privily, saying, Tell us, when shall these be? When shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of the coming and the end of the world?" So they're asking the Lord, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, what shall we look for when we know that the end is near, the end of the world, the coming of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai? It says, "And what shall be the signs of thine coming?" All right, the second coming of Yahushai, "and of the end of the world." All right, and Yahushua answered and said unto them, "Take heed that no man deceive you. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, or I am Mashiach, I am the anointed one." It says, "And shall deceive many. And you see that today." All right, but they're going to get. But I want to get to the point. It says, verse 6. It says, "And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet." All right, so we're hearing about wars and rumors of wars. All right, but this is the kicker. This is the point. It says, verse 7, "For a nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom," and you see that happening. The rumors of wars, nations going against nation. All right, China putting tariffs on America, America putting tariffs on China. All right, it's a proxy war. It says, "And there shall be famines, pestilences, and earthquakes in diverse places, and all these are the beginning of sorrows." That's my point. All of these are the beginning of sorrows. So the judgment of the Lord is going to intensify. All right, because it said what? Famines. All right, what happens in a famine? People are stricken through with wants of the fruits of the field. They're stricken through with pains and sorrows of hunger, and they die. That's the judgment of the Lord. All right, and it's coming to you on a very vast scale. And how do we know that? First of all, the scriptures and evidence to back the scriptures up is world news, man. I'm gonna keep going in this. It says, verse 8, "All these are the beginning of sorrows." of sorrows. It says, then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted. Okay, that was. Actually, I'm gonna keep going. It says, and then they shall deliver you up, shall kill you, and ye shall, because they have to be martyrs. All right, for this truth. All right, it says, and ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake, and then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another. For many false prophets shall arise, and shall deceive many. But it says, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. And that's another way that the judgment of the Lord is going to intensify. It's going forth harder than it did back then. All right, because back then you didn't have people had a sense of dignity. All right, they didn't want to kill you. If someone wanted to fight back then, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, they'd fight, with their hands. But nowadays they want to kill you. The love of many shall wax cold. Why? Because iniquity is still abounding. And you see that today. People dying on live media. Live social media. People going to jail for the most outrageous things, killing 4-year-olds. The love of many shall wax cold. Raping, they let people go innocent for raping a 9-year-old. All right, that's the love of many waxing cold. From there, I want to get 2nd Ezra 15. Yeah, man, I want to go back to that because back then you didn't have all these killings. Well, you did, but now it's broadcast on a scale where you can't really hide from it, or you can't really turn the blind eye to it. You have to pay attention, bro, because the Lord has it like that. In the scriptures, it says the slaying of the Lord shall be many. All right, that's the judgment of the Lord increasing, and it's going to continue to increase until He comes back. All right. It says a blood to a horse's bridle. Okay. I want to get I just thought about a scripture. Then I forgot it. Back to 2nd Ezra. This is 2nd Ezra, chapter 15. I want to start at 1, but I want to get straight to the point. All right. It says, fear. 2nd Ezra chapter 15 verse 3. Fear not the imaginations against thee. Let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee. All right. Incredulity is their false belief, because it says, for all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, sword, famine, death, and destruction, for wickedness hath exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. All right, and how do you clean that? How do you cleanse that? Let's go to the book of Numbers. Is it 35? And 30. There it is. 35 and 33. Numbers chapter 35 verse 33. So ye shall not pollute the land whether ye are, for blood it defileth the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein. But okay, Slakia, I think I read that wrong. I'm gonna start it over. This is Numbers 35 and 33. So ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood it defileth the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it. Alright, so if we're reading 2nd Ezra 15, saying, for the wickedness hath exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled, then the Lord has to cleanse the whole earth. Cleanse of what? Through death. Alright, so the judgment of the Lord is going to constantly increase. Alright, I just remembered that scripture I was going to get. The judgment of the Lord is constantly going to keep increasing until He comes back. All right. So the judgment of the Lord is intensifying. Why? Because we're coming upon those last days, like I read to you in Matthew's the 24th chapter. But I wanted to get was Daniel 12:1, because it's going to continue to grow, and the Lord judgment of the Lord is going to continue to intensify. Daniel 12:1, it says, and at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people, for there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to the same time. And at the time my people shall be delivered, every one shall be found written in the book. All right, so basically he's saying this is going to be the time that we're approaching, the end of the world. It's not going to be like a time of any other. Okay, it's going to be the worst time. It's going to be the worst time period that the world has ever known since its existence. All right. So the judgment of the Lord is going to continue to intensify until He comes back. All right, because it says, I hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness. They have profanely committed, they are profanely committed. Neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent and righteous blood crieth unto me, and the souls of the just complaineth continually. All right, that was all right, but let me go down a little bit, because there it is, 14. All right, this is the second 19 verse 14. It says, woe unto the world and them that dwell therein. Woe means destruction. Woe unto the world and them that dwell therein. All right. I want to pull up an article real quick. This is an article of let me go to the top. It says U.S. Slovakia. I really don't need that to load. It says U.S. FEMA. I guess Slovakia. It says U.S. FEMA concentration camps in case of martial law. Full list. All right. Now these, I just typed in FEMA plastic coffins. All right, and this is what popped up. Okay. It's the Rex 84 intermittent camp program. All right. Now I suggest that you go into that on your own time. You know, the Rex 84. Just Google Rex 84. It's basically a documented plan during the anybody that believes in the second coming of Yahweh Shai. No matter what group you're a part of, you're put on a terrorist list. All right. Now they have FEMA camps all over, the United States, but the bizarre thing about it is they ordered these coffins, these plastic coffins you see on the screen. All right. Now, why do they have these coffins? Because the judgment of the Lord is going to intensify to the point where these coffins are going to be filled with bodies. All right. All right, I'm going to read this little paragraph in between these two photos. According to reports by conspiracy theorists, over 100,000 plastic coffins are stacked up in FEMA concentration camps just in case something happens. All right, I got it in quotations, just in case something happens, like something is going to happen. It says Alex Jones on InfoWars published such a report about a FEMA facility back in 2008. Now this is in 2008, well, more in 2018. So 10 years ago, they was ordering over 500 FEMA